Okay, so Acting Staff Sergeant Lon Brewster with the Calgary Police Service, District 5. So I'm going to just give you a quick, very brief rundown of an incident that occurred here on August the 15th. It was a Saturday at about 11:45 p.m. It was a road rage incident that occurred on 39th Avenue by 36th Street Northeast. During that road rage incident, a member of the public, two vehicles were involved. When one car went through a red light and another, the victim's vehicle, tried to avoid the collision. Both vehicles then stopped, and the offending vehicle, a rear passenger, got out. It was a male in his 20s, we believe, of South Asian descent, wearing a white t-shirt and a ball cap. This male then subsequently threw a hot beverage through the open window driver's side of the victim's vehicle. The unfortunate thing here, everybody, is that it was a 7-year-old in the passenger seat who suffered the worst of that interaction and suffered some second-degree burns to parts of her body. The really good news is that she's going to recover. She's at home, and we're happy that she's being safe. What we've tried to do here, though, is we do need some help from the public. And this is a terrible crime that's happened. This is not something that Calgarians are known for. We are a generous people. And this is not something that I think any of us want in any of our communities. So the father of the young lady is here today to try and speak to the rest of the Calgarians and show that he's just like any of us who have kids and have to go through the same thing. Would be a terrible experience for any of us. So we're going to allow him just to step to the microphone here and tell a little bit about his story. He can answer some of your questions. I'll be available right after him again if you have further questions about the investigation. But with this particular one, we do need the public's help. We do need to try and find this silver vehicle, or at least people associated to it. There was 3 people in the vehicle, and this is a silver 4-door sedan. We believe to be a Toyota Camry, but unsure at this point. So with that, I'm going to ask Fahim Mirza to come to the microphone here, and he'll be able to give a brief statement and then answer some questions that you might have for him. Sir?
Hi, my name is Fahim Mirza, and I'm the dad of the victim girl. And I'm here to get some answers on behalf of my daughter originally, rather than me, who asked certain questions like why she was involved in it, and I cannot answer her because it's really tough when certain questions. I'll give you one example that she asked from her grandfather the other day. Am I not beautiful anymore? We had to pause and see what can we answer. Like, it was very heart-touching, and I hope it never happens to anyone again. And there are other things that, like, every day when you look at your child's face and you see those marks, it hurts. So I hope that somebody who has some kind of information, or even that person, comes up and admits that he was at fault, and at least come up, be a man. So if you have any questions, I'm willing to answer.
How has her personality changed?
It's hard because they have been, like, in the beginning it was very hard for even the little kid, her brother as well. He'll yell and he'll wake up. She cries, wakes up due to the pain, and sometimes she'll just start crying, and I'm, what happened? Oh, don't do it. And I'm like, oh, there's nothing, there's nobody. And you, like, it's the hardest part, that when you see those things, those questions coming up. And even though I was installing a dash cam the other day, my little one, he's installing the dash cam to catch that guy who threw that hot beverage on my sister. And I'm like, it's an impact that stays over there every day. It's very hard. It's not good.
How long of a time did this all happen?
It just happened in just briefly 30 seconds. Like, I literally had a conversation. Normally I don't. And I don't know why that day when we stopped, I rolled down. I said, like, I had to brake so hard, I would have hit you. My kids are sitting over here. Huh? And he yelled back to me, "You moron," and all that stuff. And I said, "You moron." And that was it. One, and then I don't know what his son was thinking. He was mad or whatever. He just stepped out and did it. And it was just that. And he ran. And I'm like cleaning my car, looking after my kid. By the time I drove after them, they were all long gone on 44th Avenue. I lost them.
Calgary police say that there was a man in his 60s also in the vehicle.
Yeah, he was on the passenger seat who originally cursed and then I cursed back. That's why I think so. He might be his son most often.
I
Who?
guess what my question is, how do you feel knowing that, this wasn't all carried out? They ran away even when there was a mature person in the car.
Yeah, that's the devastating part. At least he would have, like, they would have stopped. That's something, because he might have seen my daughter sitting beside me, innit? So that's the hardest part, and it's all over the news. People see, people know, people talk. I don't know why his guts are not speaking up to it. So hopefully, like Detective Ross and all the people in the police, they're helping through it and they're seeing all the cameras. Hopefully they catch him through.
And this is the last one from me. So sorry, can you say and spell your name for us?
My name is Fahim Mirza. Fahim Mirza. Mirza. You're welcome.
Can you describe some of the injuries?
There are some are first, but most are second degree burns to her, because what happened, the cup, it was filled with green tea. It banged into the front mirror and then it went on her face on the left side. So on left side, over here, so all those burns are like, most of them are second degree and some are first degree burns. My immediate reaction was like, what the hell just happened? In the beginning, I didn't realize, like, literally there was something hot came, because it came on me as well, but not that much, because it was all on her. And then I said, like, all like the fog is on the glass, so I started like, I'll go after him, I'll see his license or whatever. And she's yelling, they are yelling. I'm asking them, like, okay, calm down. Like, it was not pleasant.
What would you like to see from police investigation?
I hope that the person is caught and he's brought up to justice, and it never happens to anyone again, even an elder person or a kid. No, never. So it's really hard for the whole family, because it's not just one person, it affects everybody. And I had a like 9-month-old baby in the car seat in the back as well. So I was going home. My home is nearby, so it was not that far. So I was going home. It was just 4 minutes drive to my home.
Maybe can I be blunt and just kind of a coward, doesn't turn himself in after doing something like this to a little girl. I mean, can you just be blunt about it?
Yes, for sure. I know. How can you see and hear everything and not feel guilty about it? That's the basic question that comes up to my mind. Like, really? Like, at least just come up, just apologize. You don't have guts to face that 7-year-old girl? Like, if you have anger that, oh, somebody cursed your father or whoever was that, to react upon it, you should have guts enough to face the little girl that you threw that hot tea beverage on it. So
That's it. So first of all, we'd like to thank Mr. Mirza for coming today. Obviously, you can imagine it takes a lot of courage for people to stand in front of television cameras and the general public to sort of tell their story. But he's here because he needs information. And we need information to further this investigation. So that's why we're reaching out to Calgarians today. Again, August 15th, 11:45 p.m. at the intersection of 39th Avenue and 36th Street Northeast. Anybody who was around at that time, even if you think that what you saw was minor, any little detail can often help our investigators. Perhaps somebody has a dash cam that we could review, but no matter how small they think that detail might be, any little bit can help us. So that's what we're asking for the public. You know, I'll leave that to the investigators to determine because obviously there's, as you can imagine, there's still quite a process to get through here. Finding these people is just the first step. We have to then be able to build enough of a case to effect an arrest, and then through interviewing and whatnot, we'll determine the rationale and the reasoning behind it. There's always, we always want to say that there's two sides to every event. So we'll make sure that the investigation is fair and thorough, and that at the end of that, if there's charges to be laid, then I trust the investigators of the Calgary Police Service to do the right thing. Yes.
What would you say to them?
Honestly, I speak to their better nature. Obviously, I would suggest that somebody who's roughly 60 years old likely has children of their own. Put yourself in this man's position. As you heard his heart-wrenching story of how his daughter is now asking him, am I not pretty enough anymore? I mean, I have children, I have kids, and that would break my heart. So I think we need to speak to their better nature and say, in the heat of the moment, a decision was made out of anger. We understand that, but now it's time to come and tell your story and stand up for those consequences, unfortunately. So. We see it so often at the Calgary Police Service. It's our everyday. Road rage calls come in to our dispatch on a daily basis. And it frustrates us because there is definitely a lot of people out there that I don't know if it's anger issues or what, but for whatever reason they feel that they have a need or a right to sort of tell people what they've done wrong. I tell you, I've cut people off in my driving in my lifetime. I've done things on the highway that go against the rules of the road, not intentionally, but I've done it. If we start getting angry at everybody who breaks a rule on the road or causes an accident, I tell you, we're in a sad state of affairs if that's sort of our reaction. So yes, it's a challenging time.
And once again, is the little girl expected to recover?
That's what we understand, yes. So she's at home, obviously with the family. From what I understand, speaking to Mr. Mirza, is that she's limited in how much she can go outside and whatnot, but there is a significant chance of recovery on her part, yes.